I want to move to another piece that you did with one of the most iconic rock and roll bands of all time, The Who, and get to hear the stories about how that all came about. And that's
Sure.
all primarily played. It's acoustic, right?
Yeah,
All,
nylon string. Yeah.
all nylon string acoustic. So I'm really anxious to hear about that. But we need to do a little guitar
Yep.
change, and then we will come back and get into the discussion.
Cool.
All right, nylon acoustic. And the song is "Break the News." So, did you hear from Mr. Daltrey himself on this one, or
Not
how did
exactly.
this come about? Because you're you're contending with rock and roll royalty with Pete Townshend as the ordinary.
He's done some things on the guitar.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So, how did this happen?
Yeah. Well, so I can remember I was driving under the speed limit, and I had hands-free cell phone, of course.
Right, and I was wondering, like
speeding.
with the song "Lead Foot,"
Yeah,
which is on your solo album. I was wondering if that was
it's a little
biographical,
yeah. Yeah, autobiographical. No pun intended. But yeah, I got this. I see, the phone rings, and I can see like it's this like kind of major contractor in town, and it's just somebody that works in the office. Hi, we were wondering if you play Clawhammer nylon. And I go, and I'm, in the space of a millisecond, I'm thinking, Clawhammer nylon, what does that mean? I mean, I know what like clawhammer banjo is. I mean, it's kind of like finger picking, so presumably that on a nylon string guitar. I guess I could do that. And then of course, I immediately respond, "Oh, sure, yeah, no problem. I know exactly what that is. I do that." And and they're like, "Okay, great. Yeah, we think we might have something for you. I'll send you a follow-up email." And I go, "Okay, cool. By the way, what's it for?" And they go, "The Who. I guess it's a rock band or something." And I'm like, "What?" Like, driving all the side of the road. And they're like, "Yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll follow up via email, maybe." I'm like, "Whoa, what?" It's like so random. And then sure enough, later that afternoon, I get an email like, essentially like, "Hey, they're working on this record. We've been doing orchestra here in LA, even though Roger and Pete are back in London. And there's this song that Pete's brother had written. And when he wrote it, he kind of temped it up with this guitar part. But he doesn't really play that way, and neither does Pete. And they need somebody to get this thing done like ASAP. And then there's just one other kind of bone of contention here. Would you mind recording just a little snippet of video for them to see before, we officially hire you?" And normally I would kind of be like, really? Like, come on. But for The Who, I'm like, hell yeah, so I actually found that video. Maybe we can play it.
Yeah, we'll cut it in here so you can see a little bit of what Andrew submitted as his audition, so to speak.
And actually, it was funny because at the time, I mean, it's look, when you're in that situation, you're just thinking like, I gotta get this session, man. Like, what can I do? So at the time, that kind of like acoustic style of playing where there's like you're tapping the guitar and hitting it, like Khaki King, I think, does that kind of stuff. That was like really popular. And I'm thinking like, well, clawhammer nylon, is that what they mean? Like, so I sort of just came up with this thing that incorporated like, some of the hitting the guitar, some clearly like fast finger picking stuff, and just kind of like, but kind of bluesy, like, just like, I don't know, here's the kitchen sink in like a little 10-second clip. And I sent it off, and then a couple hours later I get another email like, "Okay, it's official, like here's the details. Go to this address." And then they sent me a Dropbox link of just the guitar part, nothing else, no click, no drums, no bass, no vocals, just an isolated acoustic guitar part. And I kind of went, okay, well, it's not a lot of context to that, but I want to make sure I'm prepared and stuff. So I made like a little chart, so at least I would have some kind of roadmap, so that when I went in there, I could kind of speak intelligently. I even like kind of numbered the bars, thinking like, okay, hopefully the bars and beats will line up in Pro Tools if I need to punch in or
Mhm.
something. And remember, I showed up at the producer's home studio, and you could tell it was like that point in the record where it's like, we just got to get this thing finished. You know, there's really very little in the way of like pleasantries or
Right.
anything. Just kind of sat down and you know, I kind of pulled out my chart just so I could kind of have a clue. And they're like, let's just check the headphones, and you know, you'll hear 8 clicks, and then you start playing. I'm like, okay, get the headphone mix real quick and kind of sit in front of the mic. And then sure enough, I heard 8 clicks, and I start playing the thing. And I'm looking at my chart, and I go, I think, you know, now this is the first time now that I'm hearing anything besides just guitar. And I go, I think this is where the verse happens. And then sure enough, like we get to like bar 9 or whatever, and on my headphones, I hear for the first time Roger Daltrey singing this song. And it was just like, you know, crazy feeling. You know?
Right. So is this the guitar that you used?
This was not the guitar. I have another nylon. There's a builder named Greg Brandt, and his assistant, or I guess, you know, understudy, whatever you call it.
Apprentice.
There you go.
Yeah.
His apprentice built that guitar. I think they're going by the name Peace Walker guitars now.
Okay.
That's a really cool sounding nylon string. Yeah.
Nice. And I presume it was just, you know, was it a ribbon mic, or what kind of stuff were you remember?
Yeah, I'm sure they had a few mics, and I think I did it once, and then maybe like doubled it on the choruses and like capo on the bridge kind of thing.
Okay, cool. Well, will you play a little bit of what you did, and of course we could supplement that with your audition tape.
Yeah, for sure.